the intro gets fucked up when it's the weekend hangover.
Always and forever.
It's just a running joke. Hi, folks. Welcome. Biz is off getting some anal fissures taken off today, so he won't be joining us.
Yes.
And Mama J's back.
Hello,
Jennifer
everybody.
with the dono. Great seeing Mama J tonight. She definitely classes up the show. Love you, Jackie from Mama J.
Hey, Jen. Long time no see, girl. It was literally at like 11 this morning. So
Mama J from the famous Pretty Antisocial podcast. Yeah.
The famous.
No. Don't say no. You guys are deep into the Dabbleverse. And by the way, who is this? Oh, we're on YouTube. Who is this dum-dum that's just dancing?
Leticia?
Yeah, who is this lady?
Well, as she would say, she's not famous. She's infamous. It's Leticia Servin Collins. I was actually only introduced to her a few months ago, and she used to have like she had a following on YouTube and stuff a few years ago. She was homeless at the time, pregnant at the time. A bunch of things were going on. She had gotten arrested and had a warrant out for her arrest for falsifying a police record because she falsely accused a person of how do they say it on YouTube? Grape or whatever. Right. Yeah. So she ended up going to I don't know, like she had a following. She would that was this morning. Yeah, she would just stream and stuff, and it was a little nuts that she's actually was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder, and she just came back on the interwebs, and in the past 7 days she's has like over 33 shorts, over 16 videos, and did over 20 some lives. And they're not short, like they're like obviously the shorts are shorts, but the lives are pretty long, and she's just talking about her life and different things, and it just gets a little wonky.
Can I say this is so much better without the music on? So much better. Like, I don't even care.
Oh, yeah. Well, the music on this one is actually we had someone actually wrote a new intro for Haley and I for Pretty Antisocial. So we put it over her dancing because she was dancing to Disney music. So it just ended up lining up perfectly. And we're like, oh my God.
They're gonna find the world of the internet is crazy sometimes. So watch what you do when you do it online.
That was perfect. Yeah, you guys get some interesting creatures to talk about. Like I thought once the steel toe thing was done, like I was like, oh, like I'm being Richard. I was like, what are they going to talk about next? And then you guys just keep coming up with these TLC abominations that put themselves on YouTube. It's like the Ringling Brothers. Like you guys are the new Barnum and Bailey. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Haley had watched. Well, her name affectionately is Letitty. She had watched her for years, and so when she started making videos again, we decided we have to talk about it. There's only so much that we can do when you're talking about like the steel toe and the Nick Rekieta case and everything like that, because everything's starting to wind down, and we're actually planning on going out to Minnesota for the revenge prawn case that's going on with that whole situation. So we're gonna actually head out to Minnesota in May to
oh my God
report on it. So but that's like winding down, and everything. And then all of a sudden there's Leticia. She came up, and then we were talking a little bit about what's going on with Destiny. And have you talked about that at all?
No, listen, we don't. You know the content. I haven't really gotten a chance to talk about like pop culture much with the two other gentlemen. We
Right.
talk video games. We talk uh political. We talk stupid shit. But yeah, no, what's going on with Destiny now?
Girl, let me tell you. All right, he's a creep, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so Destiny, he's trying to get more into like the political space. He's been in like a lot of political debates, and that's where I've known him from. I had no idea that himself, like he has culminated this community where he is like the grand poobah at the top, and he has this whole community underneath him who just follow him and what he does and everything. And apparently this is what's being alleged, is that he was secretly recording people. He was asking people for nudes and stuff, and then he distributed those nudes to another person who was like some e-girl or whatever, and she's like 19 or something at the time that he sent it to her. Well, her boyfriend, it's speculated, or someone had taken over her Discord account and then posted all the videos, nudes, everything that Destiny had sent to them and posted on Kiwi Farms. So this one of these ladies is suing Destiny and put a police report out for him because she did not consent to him distributing her photos. Now there's a whole slew of women who are coming out saying that this is something that he has done to them too. Like they've been secretly recorded. It came out that Destiny and Lauren Southern had a secret relationship
I heard
for
that.
months.
I heard about that.
I was like, what? I was like, Lauren Southern, like Canadian Lauren Southern.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh. So, and apparently that was something that people had known about for a long time and no one said anything. And so like messages between him and Lauren came out. It was just a whole big mess. And the wild thing is that for years people knew he was doing this stuff to other, but no one would say anything. And there was like recordings of this one guy saying like, I don't want to be the first one to say something, because if this woman recants her statements, then I look like the asshole. And it's been like this kind of fear thing in this community for people to keep their mouth shut. But now that the dam is open, just things keep flying out. So it's definitely going to be something interesting, because Destiny himself has come out and said that he actually did this. Now he's come back and recanted and said, I never said this, blah, 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 blah. I have never seen a community of people who screenshot and save all their messages between each other in my entire life. Like people were putting out statements, and in their statements, there were hyperlinks to screenshots of conversations of this, that, and the, it's even
You
just
don't
scratching the surface on this. It's crazy.
That's why you don't put it out in text message in black and white if you're not like you have to
No.
make sure. That's why I've never really sent anything below the belt, like, and it's just like
No.
yeah.
What happened to the days of sending a Polaroid through the mail?
Well, I mean, those days are over when somebody stuck a cigar somewhere. And she's coming back in. She's coming back in now.
Where?
She was on a podcast talking about Bill Clinton, about like he should have just resigned or something like that. I was watching a little bit of it. I couldn't watch too much of it, but yeah, she was talking about how he should have just resigned after that, and just like, but she's coming back into the ethos. Like everybody's coming back into the ethos because of the current administration, and I'm like, we know this already. You guys are rehashing the same thing over and over again.
Yes.
We don't care.
I feel bad for her A little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, because when everybody sees her, all they think about is like, how far did that cigar go? Like, like that's all people are thinking when they see her.
You think there was a mark made? And he's got a picture of the mark?
No, I don't think so. Like the no, on cigars how they have the where it the little never mind. I'm not gonna
The little paper? Yeah, the little paper
Yeah.
where the little paper is? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
All
think
right.
you think she got to the paper?
That's so nasty, Jacqueline.
Why'd you just
I've been
call your
keeping
own
it together for so long.
I know
And
you
2 seconds with you, and I'm like, well, you want to talk about something? Send nudies in the mail.
Dude, I love it. I love it. It's like the chat is just reckless. We're going to have on off label. Rob is going to come on, and me and Rich have been talking about
Great.
behind the scenes, like how we're going to handle this. And Rich is like, we're trying to. I want to toe the line because I can be professional if I need to be, um,
Right.
but I want to make somebody's cheeks rosy red. And I just like when somebody like Jennifer and Rhonda and everybody in the chat has just gone like so whoo, whoo, like they've gone like where what oh man. I'm not used to holding the stick. I really am not anymore. Rich and Biz have been holding the stick, but yeah, the chat goes fucking nuts. The chat goes crazy. We've had Joe Sweeney on off label, and that's been fun. You know who Joe Sweeney is?
I think I had seen him on off label once, but you're gonna have to remind me.
He was an ex-CIA lawyer.
Okay.
Who
Yes.
might have a job soon in the administration. Might.
Oh boy.
We don't know. Me and Rich are going to apply for press credentials, and if Rob is there, if Joe is there, yeah, I'm like, we've talked about it. Like, no, we got to go. If he's we got to go. And he's like, yeah, if you guys get a visit from the FBI, I'm like, in Missouri. But
it wasn't me. That's just do that.
I'm like, I'm glad you told me, because if you didn't tell me and the FBI showed up at my door, I wasn't opening the door.
We'll be rich all over again.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, you have kids, right?
Yeah, I do.
Your kids ever do this to you?
Okay.
Have this for your party. For your vagina. For your vagina.
No, they have not.
For your vagina. This is for
no, but I have had a booger given to me.
Did you really?
Going like this, and he's like, eh. And I was like, what do you want me to do with it? Eat it. I don't know. Like,
oh man, kids are fun. Kids are fucking reckless. How about that? Kids are fucking reckless. So you haven't been into the political sphere in a while, huh?
No, I haven't. I have been lingering on the outskirts of just seeing different things. Like I recently saw about Dan Bongino becoming the deputy FBI deputy director of the FBI. Like, holy shit.
But Kash Patel is now at the ATF. So the deputy director is now the director.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, it hasn't been confirmed, actually. Thank you. But yeah. So he was the deputy director, and then the ATF put out a statement welcoming Kash Patel to the ATF as their director.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
Am I happy about everything? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mhm.
I don't like how they're going after every single government agency, um, and trying to dismantle it. I think a revamping of it would be really good, would be great,
Mhm.
but just, you know, I mean, getting rid of Department of Education, I'm fine with that. You
Yeah.
know, our kids are dumb. Um,
I mean,
getting
it's
rid
true.
getting rid of overhauling the FBI, ATF, CIA, great. Making them all come back to work, great. But
Right.
laying off all these people that with like a swipe of a pen, like I don't like that. I don't.
I can understand, but the system has been broken for so long, and you have people who've been in these positions, and it is an industry. Honestly, the government is an industry in which it's difficult for people to be fired.
Yeah.
So this actually happening, it like I was like reading something about, like, people bitching and moaning about having to tell
Yeah.
Doge or whatever what it is that they're doing, like what it is what is your function, you know
What's the 5 things you did last week? And I'm not gonna lie to you, that's what my 9 to 5 did to us. They were like,
right.
what was the 5 what tell us what you did last week. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I'm not good at that. Like I just look at the way I run what I do, and that's to me good enough. Am I hey, get out of there. Get am
Yeah,
I a
get out of there.
hindrance? And the cat was clawing at the wall. Am I a hindrance? No. Do I do 85% of the stuff you asked me to do? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like I can't articulate what I've done, you know. Just look at do you have to talk to me a lot? No. Just know that's good. But
Well, I think it's also one of those things though too, it's just kind of like thinning out the herd, and then seeing where people are actually needed. If they need extra people here or wherever, and figuring it out from there. Because I mean, if you think about when the country was formed, what was the main purpose for the federal government,
to oversee
right?
the states.
Well, and to protect the borders.
Okay.
So national security. So they need to start focusing more on that. Honestly, dipping into like different state stuff, I don't completely agree with at all. Like what I heard about the meeting with all the governors or what have you, and then Trump said something to the governor of
Maine.
Massachusetts,
Maine.
Maine.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And he's like, all right, well then we're not going to do this, that, or what have you if you don't do what I want.
Well,
Eh,
here's the double-edged sword on that one because it, the way the government runs, it's all in quiet. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
It's all in like look what happened in North Carolina during the hurricane.
Yeah.
They weren't going to help certain people. They were going to give $700, $770 to people, but it was like a loan. And what we're finding out. But we don't know. We don't know because there's people like it's not a loan, it's a loan. So we have no idea. Where
Yeah.
Trump was like, "Hey, are you going to do this in Maine?" And she went, "No." And he went, "Then I'm not going to give you any money."
Yeah.
So, it like I said, it's a double-edged sword where yes, he's being honest and truthful, but maybe there's a little couth involved. You know what I mean?
I think the bag of fucks that he had is like completely empty. So he's like, let's just start from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. I think it's it's one of those things where like you guys fucked around in my first term and told me to hire all these people. I hired all these people and you guys still weren't happy. So now I'm going to hire everybody I want to hire. I have the House, I have the Senate. Game on.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely right for doing what he's doing. Not going to lie.
Not to mention how in the past 8 to 10 years, I mean, probably even more, but I think more so in the 8 to 10 years that have happened, you saw a huge weaponization of the government on a grander scale than you've ever seen before. You know, you think about Russiagate and all that. You think about what happened after Trump got out of office and all just the little different things. Not even just that, but what people were doing to conservatives. The government working in conjunction with social media to stamp down on people's voices and stuff. And now you have Mark Zuckerberg like turning tail with his tail in between his legs, being like, "Listen, they pressured me. Like I didn't do nothing. They told me to do it." Right?
Yeah.
So it's all kind of flipping on itself.
And
now,
like with Eric Swalwell today, I think it was today, said that he let out 1,500 of the most dangerous people for J6. I'm sorry. I know a lot more people that are more dangerous than the people who went into the Senate building or wherever it was. They're not if they were the most dangerous people, they would have had guns. They didn't have guns. What somebody said they had bear spray and handcuffs, like plastic handcuffs. Like the only person that was killed that day was Ashley Babbitt, and people make fun of it. And I'm like, dude, like you're making fun of a woman who tried to get into there, who was pushed into there. And you're like, oh, good, I'm glad. Oh, but this cop died of, they called it natural causes. They wanted to say something different, but they couldn't. You know, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, it's just also, you know, they want everybody else to get all the other things that have happened before then. You know, the Summer of Love, how, you know, mainstream media was calling Trump a pussy because what was it? It was
May 29th. Yeah.
May 29th. When they set a guard stand on fire and Trump had used the I don't know, he used some force or whatever to move people back. And then he went out and he did his little picture at the St. John's Church or whatever. But there was reported that he was taken down into the bunker. And then news reports were like, oh, look, he can't face his people, blah, blah. But no one reported on all the fires and shit that people started.
Yeah. Yeah. But and I recently
hold on. You need to bring up Rich said also, don't forget about Roseanne Boland, who also died during January 6th, because she was actually, Rich, remind me if I'm wrong, she's the one that was actually beaten by the police, was beaten in the crowd.
Sorry. I'm trying to send out invites. I was inviting Rich. By the way,
all right,
the Life Liberty podcast show, great guy, great dude. He's insanely smart. I brought him on last night. Him and Rich like got along like two peas in a pod. It was great. He's a constitutionalist. It was so much fun, but I was tired and I had to go, so I left early. I tried to pull a weekend update, weekend hangover, and just end the show. And Rich is like, no, we're gonna keep going.
We're not doing that. Yeah. Hey,
what's going on, everybody? I'm keeping my camera off today, so I'm pretty much like got a wife beater on and just sitting in my boxers. I'm sure y'all don't want to see that.
Well, I mean, you know.
How do you know?
You are who you are.
Roseanne Boyland, she was attacked by the cops, and then she was actually knocked down to the ground. And as people were trying to get into the Capitol, they trampled her. So she died as well. But she's one of those little known ones that
Right.
died and nobody talked about because, well, Ashley Babbitt was a big story.
Right.
But yeah, the cops actually did attack her. She fell to the ground, and then the crowd that was around the Capitol kind of trampled all over.
Horrible.
Right. But it's nice
Okay.
to see you again, Mama J. I haven't seen you in a minute.
I know. It's been a while. Like I said, I've been on the outskirts of everything. So I feel so out of place because I usually know what's going on and I don't really know. Like the most in-depth thing that I've done was actually I watched some of the confirmation hearings. I think I watched RFK's and Cash Patel's and a little bit of Tulsi Gabbard's.
Oh,
And
Tulsi's
that's about it.
Tulsi surprised me. I thought they were just going to go hard after that woman. And
Uh-huh.
most of them were incredibly respectful. It was the Cash Patel one that is kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we should Kazakhstan. But yeah. I
But
do have some hearings that I have to bring up this weekend too, because there are some good ones that are floating around now.
Oh yeah, like what?
Let's see. There was one, I think, yesterday, ending of the weaponization of the federal government. There was another Doge committee hearing. There was one about birthright citizenship. We got one about, God, what was that one? Oh, the talking to mayors of sanctuary cities, a hearing with the mayors of the sanctuary cities. Yeah,
Oh
they got
boy.
some good ones coming up. And I'm gonna have to pull a little bit of overtime this weekend.
Yes, do it.
m-
I'll be there. I'll watch.
Well-
But no, the Doge ones, I've seen like clips of here and there of people just like asking questions of the heads of all these different departments, and like they don't know what to answer for themselves.
No, they don't.
well, here's the thing, like with the Doge thing, like now all of a sudden Elon Musk is not in charge of Doge. Somebody else is in charge of Doge.
He
And
never was in charge. He was just the person at the head, just being like, "Hey, maybe cut here, maybe cut there." They were not. He was never the one in charge of that. He was just the one that brought
Right.
the Doge information to Trump. And this little shadow presidency thing, with fucking Elon Musk. Jesus Christ, that is the most stupid shit I've ever heard.
I want to show Mama J this clip because I love this clip. Jon Stewart has become a CNN watch for me. Like it's a love-hate watch relationship that I have because it's one of those like sometimes he says good things and sometimes you're like shut the fuck up, John. Yeah. But this is great.
To be doing, like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Let me set it up a little bit. What we're dealing with in the government. This lady was a like Rich, what did she do? She worked for the Pentagon?
I don't remember exactly what she did. I mean, she was kind of irrelevant to me, but yeah,
But-
she's like Pentagon or not CIA.
FBI?
No, NSA.
NSA. Okay, yeah.
I think.
Audits and
That
waste,
is.
fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose
Then
these
please
pieces for a
educate
moment.
me on
Sure.
what
So an
the
audit is
difference-
exactly what you just described,
Yes.
which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit or the fact that the DoD has not passed an audit is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
So what is
now
it
it's a
suggestive
question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my
Ma'am?
world,
Yeah.
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me
Right.
is wasteful. That means you
Right.
are not
Necessarily.
responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? And when there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look, I'm not saying this is on you
Uh-oh.
and that you caused this, but I think it's a tough argument to
I'm pretty
make
sure I
that
didn't cause it.
Pause, Davey.
$850 billion.
Epstein files are about to be released on February 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Pam Bondi just dropped it.
Is that what I'm seeing? Oh, here. Yeah, hold on. Let me put.
Oh shit.
There we go. Here's Pam Bondi on
Fox News.
Two Waters. Yeah.
Do you have the video?
Yeah, I put it in the private chat.
Okay.
Remember, Jamie's back.
This has been so long.
You need to come talk with us on Off Label. It'll be a lot of fun. Sit there and
Yeah,
bullshit
absolutely.
and have some bullshit talk because I'm gonna be honest with you. All the shit you guys do is actually really, really interesting. But I can't stand the Keanu Thompson shit.
I know.
I really fucking can't. She's not the dumbest, but she's in the top 5.
I want to get a megaphone now. Jennifer with the $1 dono. Davey Rick wants you to check Discord. Thank you very much. Yes, and this is where we are.
You said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk. When can we see them, and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have well over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
Oh, shit.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah. What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay. Well, we'll
along
look
with
for
his
that.
co-defendant.
Absolutely. And he had help. That's for
He
sure.
sure did.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Life and Liberty podcast, it's Liberty. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? My camera's off tonight, so
I saw that. I was like, hey, I want to see you in your underwear.
Yeah, I want to see you.
It's not good.
It's nice meeting you, Mama J.
Mama J used to be a part of the Business Party podcast, and she went into the Dabbleverse. I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't.
But that's internet school.
I didn't even know what it was either until someone's like, "You're in it." I was like, "What?"
It's internet beefs.
What does that mean?
It's podcast beefs between a bunch of people.
Oh,
but there's a lot of fucking juicy details, and Mama J loves a good Mama J loves tea. That's what Mama J does. Mama J is a tea sipper. She is a tea sipper.
Yeah.
And
That's what I was going to say, Rick. I appreciate it. This piano was free because it's fake. So I came in listening to that. Obviously, I had to pull away so I could put up my green screen because I'm in my kitchen. But as what I was listening to was her admitting that the list is real and that Epstein, they know all of it. At least this is what I was hearing. And that the co-conspirators, they know exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's going to be the same thing with JFK, right? So it was classified because of the high-ranking government officials that were involved. So now, kind of like what we were talking about yesterday, Rich, is they're going to decide if they're going to release it because how many high-ranking government officials were involved, because it would absolutely destroy the country to find out which ones were there.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to see left, right, and center. All types. Even from fucking Supreme Court justices are going to be on that list, and I guarantee it.
Do you think it would be something if it actually all of it does come out and they don't redact a lot of it or a lot of names or anything like that, do you think it actually would be something that would destroy the country, or would it give the country more be like, all right, well, maybe now we're on the right path, like finding out the trash, taking it out, and starting anew?
I want to hit that up first by saying me and Liberty were kind of talking about something of this situation. It wouldn't destroy the country. It would send us into a revolution.
Actually, I don't think it would.
Left and no, I do.
You don't
Both
think so?
left and right. Everybody wants to target these people because they hurt children. You got the right people wanting to take out left politicians because, hey, you're on the Epstein list. You're fucking kids. What is this? And then you got the Democrats wanting to kill Republican fucking officials because you're on the Epstein list. You're fucking kids.
Or would it depend on what news outlet reported it first and started the narrative?
You're going to find it from X before you find it from the news outlet.
Well, here's the thing. With that is the problem is you have now CNN, MSNBC, the New York, what is Bezos, the Washington Post now coming out and saying that they want to start getting rid of some of these people. They got rid of Joy Reid. They got rid of, I forget, another person. You got CNN kind of jumbling up everybody and everything. And the Post is no longer doing DEI editorials or opinion pieces. So we might start to get actual facts.
Dirty word.
We might actually start to get facts. But then again, CNN did bring Brian Stelter back, and he's on his fucking high horse on whatever. Come
on, Davey. Hold up. Joy Reid had value.
Really? Okay, hold on. Please help.
Hang on before you play that, Davey. So I understand what y'all are talking about. Now think about this. We thought for how long that if they told us what was at Area 51, that there would be some kind of fucking uprising, and we'd be like, they're lying to us. And then they said aliens are real, and everybody was like, I don't believe you. And
no, Liberty. You forget. Before they said aliens are real, they said the CIA killed JFK. By the way, aliens are real.
And nobody cared about JFK either.
Yep.
And nobody cared about JFK.
No.
So I believe that they were going to hide it because they want to protect the government officials from going to jail, not from the American people.
Yes.
Oh, of course, that's what they were doing. But I mean, you got leftist people all over fucking Reddit and everything right now calling for fucking ending people.
Oh, we'll get to that right after this.
They're calling for a civil war, though.
MSNBC decided to cancel it because they don't realize how much my show has to offer. Like, how will white people know how racist and misogynist they are if I don't tell them every day? Anyway, joining me is another victim of oppression, Don Lemon.
Thanks, Joy. I don't know what you're upset about. There's no way you're as oppressed as I am. After all, I'm black and gay. According to the hierarchy, I'm one tier more oppressed than you.
Don, that's ridiculous. Obviously, I'm more oppressed than you because I'm black and have a Mickey in my pants. You're black and gay, but you're a man. And being a man canceled out the gay.
I didn't realize I was talking to Jim Crow. Being black and gay makes me way more oppressed than you.
But you don't have a minky in your pants. Man, I wish there was some way we could settle this.
Oh, what is happening? Where are we? Who abducts a black and gay man? What is this? Jim Crow teleporting? I brought you here. I'm Cynthia Revo. I heard your dispute about who's more oppressed. As you know, I was recently chosen to be Jesus because I'm black and gay, so I have the power to determine who's more of a victim. As you know, the oppression tier list was discovered by Rosa Parks. She wasn't as oppressed of any of us, but this is how we determine who's the most oppressed.
So who's more oppressed?
I'm getting to that. According to the tier list, I'm at the top because I'm black and gay and have a minky in my pants. Joy, you're here on level 2 because although you're just black, you do have a minky. Don, you're closer to the bottom. You may be black and gay, but you're a man and that cancels out a gay. This is outrageous. You're just saying that because you're homophobic. I didn't realize we were looking at the Jim Crow oppression tier list. It doesn't really matter. You're both equally obnoxious.
Truth. 100% true.
It's funny, but it's not at the same time, because I forget a video I saw, but it was like I think it was what's that pollster? Frank Lutz. Frank Lutz was talking about like how people are sick and tired of being labeled. Like, and people are like on the left, you can't say anything. Like, you can't have an opinion because you get thrown out for your opinion. Oh, maybe this doesn't work, so maybe let's try that. Nope, you're gone. And they want nothing to do with you. And the right's like, hey, let's have a conversation about this. So it's like who's being more oppressive now than ever before? And they talk about the flip. They're like, oh no, the Dixiecrats, it's a flip and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. You guys keep talking about who's going to pick your fruits, who's going to clean your toilets, who's going to do the jobs normal Americans won't do. I think it sounds a lot like who's going to pick your cotton.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the thing. I mean, wasn't it Pelosi that said that black people are too stupid to get IDs?
Yeah.
Because they can't find the DMV.
Yeah.
And that's why
No, it was
showing ID for voting is illegal. Or
it was
is
Kathy
racist.
Hochul. It was Kathy
No.
Hochul.
Kathy Hochul said they're too stupid to know what a computer is.
This is true.
It was Pelosi was the one saying that black people cannot get IDs because they don't know where the DMV is.
I just
So
I think it's hey
it was Nadler that said who's gonna pick your fruit though in a committee hearing.
All said it. They all said it.
It was what was her name? The Osborne chick that said who's gonna
Kelly
clean
Osborne.
your toilets?
Yeah. Who's gonna clean your toilets, Mr. Trump? Liberty's all silent over there. You're muted. You're muted. Oh. Okay. But
Doing something. But yeah. I mean it's kind of ridiculous that you actually have to wind up like that way and be that kind of pushing that on the mainstream. Like how the fuck anybody bought into that? I don't know.
I have no idea. I have no fucking idea how anybody bought into that. I'm trying to find something. Is this no?
Mama J's just sitting over there just trying to learn what the hell's happening right now.
I know.
Oh, here
Oh
it
no,
is.
it's been a wild
really
ride
is
since you've been
weird.
gone.
Like, huh?
It's been a wild ride since you've been gone.
I know. Honestly, like I've been kind of upset though because this is like a historical moment in our country. Like that's been going on between the election and then all these appointments and like different things that have been happening. And I've been so out of the loop. And I'm like, oh my god.
Well,
I've been trying.
Listen, Biz has been right for a long time. We just need cage fights.
No. Hold up. Before you play this, I want you guys to totally 100% understand. This guy has had Marjorie Taylor Greene kicked out of committee hearings. Now you can play it.
Can we hear Liberty say something?
Yeah, I'm good. I was somehow got my screen to disappear and I couldn't bring you back up. So I had, it was fucking awesome.
Dude, you should go back to me and one of me and Rich's off-label podcasts from like almost a year ago, or like from November of last year, October, November, where I almost destroyed my whole setup because nothing was working.
Oh my god, it was awful. So then when I went back in, it put me in here twice.
Yep.
So I was like,
Nah,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good. But
I almost Rich is like, you wanna stop this? And I'm like, no, I want this on record that I almost destroyed my whole setup because this whole thing didn't want to fucking work.
all it was he was using an unpowered USB hub, plugging up on a whole bunch of electronics into that hub. So it was drawing too much power from the laptop he was using.
Yep. It was just, oh, dude, I almost destroyed everything. I was just,
Dude, he almost fucking, like, there was a point, like, he literally just slammed down and just, and I'm like, all right, we're going to end this. He's like, no. All right, fuck it, let's go.
But this dude right here, like, we are really close to Congressional Fight Club, and I can't fucking wait for it. I really can't.
People like the grifter in chief Trump and President Musk are openly using their public offices to enrich themselves to the tune of billions of dollars. So if we want to look at waste, fraud, and abuse, which I'm down to do, why is there complete silence on the other side of the aisle about looking at the complete grifter that is the president of the United States and the richest man on the earth, which is looking into things like Social Security and different things like that? Why don't we investigate the real corruption?
Hold off. Point of order.
I reclaim my time.
Point of order.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Hold off. There was a point of order when you said something. Who asked for it? Mr. Higgins, would you like to revise your remark with respect to improperly identifying the President of the United States?
I'll say President Musk and grifter and chief Trump.
All right.
Grifter and chief
Hey,
Trump.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Wait a second.
If I wanted to challenge someone to a fight, they would know it. Thank you.
That was
Chairman, if
Nancy
Mr.
Mace.
Musk actually
Called him the-
came here,
what?
then maybe the rules
All
of
right.
the committee.
I
would
heard
apply.
That was Nancy Mace because her and Crockett have gotten into it. Crockett was sitting there running her mouth like they always do with the mics
Oh,
off,
yeah.
which was triggering her because they got some fucking beef going on, like it's WWE style shit.
Somebody's earrings are about to get taken off. I'm telling
There's
you.
Vaseline coming, earrings coming off.
Yeah, but that happened in the union hearing too, when the senator was like, "We can take this outside."
Yeah, Mark.
And he stood up.
And he
Mark
stood the
something.
fuck up, and I was like,
Yeah.
"You."
Mark Wayne Mully.
Mark Wayne Mully, yeah, and
Mullins.
Mark Wayne Mullins and the head of the Teamsters,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Let's go." And Bernie Sanders like, "Guys, listen, you can't do this. You're a senator. You can't go and fight people." And I'm like, Bernie,
Were
relax.
they having that hearing in the same room where the guy was getting pounded by that other man? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, same one.
Okay.
But this is the worst administration ever, huh? Hey,
Hey,
I'm
when that
hoping-
happened for a
Go ahead.
while, when that happened, when that information came out, there was somebody in like Tim's chat that had made an image of the guy, just like the government was, behind the camera.
Yeah.
And it was the people right there, we the people, the dude.
Yes.
Yeah. And they did it at a different angle. And I sit there and I was like, guys, you realize that they have this camera angle. That means there was somebody else in the room. For a while, they believed it. Until the dude's like, this has gone on long enough. I edited that photo. You realize that? And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I realize that. Because this is the only footage we have of this. But yeah, I was just like, no, I just made all that shit up just to fuck with y'all. And he's like, you had me believing this shit.
So I've got a couple things here. The left, I get called a grifter all the time because I'm on social media talking about shit and I'm saying, hey, go to my fucking merch store, buy my merch, and come to my locals and pay me money so you can watch me talk shit. So like, wait, that's called a business. If that's grifting, how the fuck does Walmart make money? They spend
Right.
money and they advertise. I just do it free. But where is the financial benefit for both Trump and Elon? Where's the financial benefit?
They keep saying the people's data. They keep saying that they're getting people's data. Once again, if you make money from social media, they have your data.
It doesn't even matter though.
If you're on TikTok, there's millions of people on TikTok who make money on TikTok. The Chinese government has your data. These same people, the same people that ran as soon as TikTok was done, they ran right to Red Note. They couldn't read Mandarin and just hit accepted. They didn't even know which one was accepted. One was red, one was black. And they just went red. I guess that's the good one. And they accepted it.
They went on TikTok to find out which button you're supposed to push.
Exactly.
For it.
So
yeah, it's like one of those things like, okay, I'm a grifter. Cool. Make me money. But
you also got to think, where did talk radio come from? Where did the mainstream media come from? The same shit.
The
It's
same
just-
thing.
It's
now
just evolving.
Now, I honestly believe that there should be MMA in the freaking on the Senate floor, because if you go back, there were literal freaking fistfights on the Senate floor when they were fucking writing the Constitution, because they cared about their people that fucking much.
Hold on. I
Weren't
will
there
admit,
duels?
I would love to see Nancy Mace knock out Jasmine Crockett.
But
Yeah,
then
that's
again, you
that's
got
what
to
I was
think
gonna
of,
say, Mama J. Like they were literal duels.
yeah,
Yes.
Back then.
They would shoot each other over this.
yeah. So, but then you've got to think, whenever you're electing somebody into this position now, they're not going to be people like Nasty Pelosi, some decrepit old
Right.
woman, because she won't be able to defend you. Now it's going to be who's the freaking muscle bound motherfucker that we can choose that is going to be able to fight for us whenever they like hit the button and the freaking octagon pops up in the middle of the Senate floor. Right?
It's going to be gladiator style politics.
I do have to say something though, because if you see the new class of senators, congressmen, and stuff that are coming in, it's different than the old school, because the difference is, and I have to give them at least a little bit of credit, the old school people for the longest time knew how to act right, in the sense of not letting their emotions too much be too overbearing in when they were talking to like media or whatever, or in these hearings. There was some type of decorum, and now that type of decorum is like gone, and it's like people are basically just going off of their emotional sleeves. Like that's what it feels like.
I blame
now.
that.
And
I blame that on social media.
Absolutely. But I think it's also a good thing though too, because then you don't know then they can't be the sneaky bastards like the old people, because they're at least using their emotions, so it's like they're saying exactly what they're feeling at that time and not doing like this double speak type thing.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
You're absolutely right. I was learning that I would have to talk across the fucking aisle and make deals when I ran for Missouri State Rep, that I would have to make these deals. But here's the problem. If I made these deals and then got out and spoke to my constituents and was like, hey, by the way, I made this deal with these people, then they would be like, I ain't voting you back in. So if I'm in the mind's eye and I'm talking shit to those people, in the mind's eye to everybody else, they're like, he's fighting really hard for us. So this is what's happening. When they get on TV and there's a camera running, they fucking act like they care about us, but whenever those cameras are off, they're all drinking fucking whiskey in the offices together going, ha, we really fucking, just tricked every one of them.
True, but this time though, there are more eyes and more people are paying attention than before. I'll
And
say
there
one
are
of the biggest
more
things.
us than before.
Exactly. And plus with like social media and different things like that, it's more information is getting out so much more quickly. And I'll say the one thing that has been a big benefit of Trump coming into office the first time is that it did open up a lot of people's eyes, whether or not they liked them or they didn't like him, to start paying attention more to not just the federal stuff, but also their local things. So now I see more grassroots people being like, okay, make sure you call your senators for this, that, or the third, or even different things on social media when there are votes of people posting the votes up. So you can see who had said what compared to what they voted to. And I think that has been a really good benefit. So there's a lot of different, like the whole atmosphere of politics, I believe, is changing from the old school. It's changing to something different. And I hope that it keeps up, that people still want to pay attention and not go back to sleeping. Like for myself, I've been busy with other things, but I still want to try and keep an eye on different things, you know.
And I've said this for a long time. Like I can't trust anybody who's going to be sitting there on the Senate floor, anybody who's going to sit there on the House of Congress and just sit there and shit talk somebody and then go, yeah, no, we went to dinner. My friend across the aisle, my great friend across the aisle. And I'm like, how is You called him an asshole yesterday,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden,
Hey, his New York just came out yesterday.
yesterday, you called him an asshole yesterday, and all of a sudden, like, you know, today you're like my great friend across the aisle. Like, yeah, I understand. There's you have to have a certain kind of decorum, but if you're going out for dinner and drinks and having a social kind of thing when you're sitting there talking about how like Charlemagne the God said it. Like, how do you sit there and say Donald Trump is a
right wing
a
transphobic
dictator,
bigot.
yeah, and a dictator, and then just
He's literally Hitler.
yeah, and then just
Yeah.
be like, oh, okay, peaceful transfer of power. Like Donald Trump didn't. Donald Trump just fucking said goodbye and just left. Yeah, and it's all about money. It's all about the fucking money, and you know,
Yeah.
and it sucks. And
So
I'm kind of glad that, you know, we've gotten to the place where like people are actually like, no, fuck you, fuck you.
I mean,
Hell
I
yeah.
agree with you to an extent, right? So even
Mhm.
on social media, you find that there's so many echo chambers,
Yeah.
right? So
Agreed.
if we create echo chambers in the House and Senate, then nothing will ever get done either.
Right.
Right.
So
True.
like myself, I try and get on with people that I disagree with
Yeah.
Right.
because I want to be able to have the discourse and have a civil disagreement. But
There's the thing.
the problem is these guys are having civil disagreements, but they're not actually seeing the other person's side and making the concessions and going, okay, I can understand where you're coming from and I can see how we can work this together and
Right.
make a better country. They're like, no, my people want this. No, my people want this. And then they're going in the back channels and having these side deals where they're saying, okay, well, I'll sign this if whenever I put this bill out, you endorse it and you sign it. It's not
Right.
it's not an actual discourse. It's gaming for us. They're lying to us so that whenever they go and put their name on the ballot again, then we stand beside them and vote for them.
Yeah.
Right.
I can agree with that 100%.
Well, what I meant by there are more of us now is
Mhm.
we have more Congress people, left and right, who are more like us. And I do point that out because look at the Republican Party right now. They're best ones. You know, you got Thomas Massey, whether you agree with him or not, he makes some strong ass common sense arguments.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you got Anna Paulina Luna, who's just gone hard in the paint for this, been in the background, literally taking no slings or arrows, really. Not yet. I mean, she's gonna make too much of a noise. You got Nancy Mace, who just had that always been fighting about the transgender thing. They had the transgender person come in and she had that bill like, hey, men and women's bathrooms, federal buildings.
Yeah.
And she's just like, fine, I don't care. You know, just shout out to that woman. I will give you that respect to say she until you prove you're too fucking insane, which you're already starting to do. But Nancy Mace went hard in the paint. She's gone after things. And because of that, Jasmine Crockett, which is literally just like clip star. That's all she is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I
who is
listened
that?
to that whole damn Breakfast Club thing, dude. I got that if you want it, Liberty.
Well, hold on.
It was dumb.
Hold on. We're gonna cut YouTube.
Okay.
And we're going to Rumble. You've got 2.5 minutes. I can't do the half. You got 2.5 minutes. We'll be back.